All right, how's everyone doing? I am Rich CELENZA. Thanks for tuning into the Rich CELENZA Show. WTF are you talking about? So what I want to call this podcast is when wanting to get fit, the only one you're competing with is yourself. So if you watch any of my YouTube videos, especially lately, I've been doing a lot of things fitness related, trying to help people lose weight, gain muscle, just giving gym tours, also different workouts I've done, including a lot of different body parts, chest, back, buys, tries, legs, calves, and so on. I'm not a trainer. I'd actually consider myself the opposite of a trainer because, excuse me, a lot of times I don't have the patience to train people, even though I'd probably be pretty good at it because I've been doing it my entire life. I'm good if you want to work out with me in a gym, but I'm not a guy who's going to sit there and tell you what to do. I'd go nuts. But I am, I think, pretty decent at showing videos or talking about fitness and what to expect out of it from an honest approach, especially playing so many different sports at a young age and then working out for basically my entire life. Like I said, I never stopped lifting weights basically from the age of around 12 to 50. And I think I actually started lifting weights off and on from like 5 years old on. So I've always been in and out of a gym. But what I want to get into today is people. If you've worked out or not, you have to realize when it all is said and done, the only person you're competing with is yourself. Now, if you're a professional athlete playing for, whatever the case may be, or you want to do bodybuilding, powerlifting, things in that nature, that's competitive. That's a different story because you're obviously competing against other people. That's not what I'm talking about here. I'm mainly talking about the average Joe out there, or person, woman, guy, whatever, looking to lose weight, gain muscle, get fit, get stronger, try to get healthier, feel better. That's what I'm kind of talking about in this. So I recently did a video on YouTube too. It's working out with people who can raise, or actually working out with people who have the same intensity level that you have or a higher intensity level. That will ensure that you get better workouts, or at least you get a good workout in a lot of times. And that's the same goes for you. You may need to raise your intensity level to help others get a better workout. You may be a drag at the gym, or always be late, or be an asshole. Who knows? Let me get some water here. But if you're a beginner, the one thing I want you to remember, the only results you're going to get are your own. It doesn't matter what anybody else does in a gym. Okay? It's all on you. The quicker you realize that. Now, there's nothing wrong with you looking at other people and being a little competitive and saying, wow, this guy lost 10 pounds, I lost 2 pounds. What am I doing wrong? You may want to ask that person, guy or girl. It's all about information, I believe, working out. It's all mental. It's about doing things correctly. And it's really about not getting injured and looking at the long term. Long term. It's a long-term game. People think they're going to work out. If you're 30, 20, 40, whatever, and you want to lose 30 pounds, you think you're going to do it in a few months, I would definitely not do that. My whole thing is consistency, less is way more. I talk about this in previous podcasts. You only want to lose a pound a week, max, in my opinion. You only want to gain maybe 5-10 pounds of muscle, depending on what age you are, per year, and then that's going to even plateau. But you have to, again, think about everything is on you. You're only competing with yourself because you're the only one who's going to get these results. It's not a team effort. And it's also like we were describing earlier, it's not like you're playing tennis hypothetically or golfing against other people and you get a score at the end. Oh, I shot this and you shot that. That's not what this is about. This is about your personal fitness. Are you losing the weight you want to lose? Are you gaining the muscle you want to gain? Are you gaining the weight you want to gain? Are you getting in the shape you want to get into? Are you looking the way you want to look? It doesn't matter how everybody else looks, right? Because that doesn't mean you look like that. It doesn't matter how strong everybody else is, because that doesn't mean you're strong. And I think a lot of times what happens in the gym is people go work out in a gym and they're judging everyone else. Either they think they're in better shape or they're intimidated, or actually you may think the other way, like, hey, there's a lot of fat asses here too. Whatever the case may be, again, what you're looking at has nothing to do with you. Even if it's a good gym or bad gym, what you do in this gym, what you put into it, in the gym and actually out of the gym, the lifestyle you lead is everything. You're usually, a lot of people I'm always hearing, oh, my gym sucks, I don't get the results I want. Change the gym. Oh, the people at my gym, they're assholes, I can't get on equipment. Again, change gyms or stop being intimidated and start working in. You're a man or a woman, it's a public place, right? To a certain degree. I mean, you may pay a membership, but what I'm saying is it's for everybody to use. Don't get yourself pushed around. I just did a video on that on YouTube. Don't let anybody intimidate you in the gym. But stop coming up with excuses on why you are the way you are if you're not happy with who you are. The one thing that always kind of caught me regarding fitness is, or people trying to get in shape is, one is they think it's supposed to happen quicker than it's going to. They're unrealistic. And I think a lot of that comes from, television. Like The Biggest Loser and a lot of this, where you got people that are obese, which I get, they have to lose weight. I personally think they make them lose too much weight too fast. I don't think it's healthy a lot of times for their heart, their skin. Again, that's my opinion. But if you're extremely obese and you got to get that weight off, I get that as well. But most people aren't that obese because they go to the extreme. But I do think a lot of people think, hey, I got to lose 30 pounds. I'm going to lose it in a few months. I would not recommend that at all. But they think that for some reason. They're not thinking long-term fitness. If you really want to start getting in shape and live a healthy lifestyle, you can't be looking at it, I'm going to try this out 3 months, 6 months. It's years. It takes even decades. The more you're in it, the better off you're going to be. And the more your body is going to adapt to this and accept it and mold into this person that you want to be physically. And even if you do it for many, many years and you may take some time off and come back, that's fine. But if you're somebody who at the beginning works out for a month or two, quits for a month or two, goes back for a week, off 2 weeks, on for a month, what do you expect your body? It's almost like a bank account. I talk about it. It's like if you put some money in, you take some money out. You put a bunch in, you take a bunch out. Where's the consistency? If you want to get results, or at least if you want to save money, you got to at least start, putting in certain deposits and be consistent. And sure, sometimes you're going to miss some or take some money out, but as long as you keep building that foundation, it will be there. That's what you have to realize with working out. More than anything, it's a long-term game. A lot of people that you see fit. Now, if you're younger in your later teens or early 20s, you see a lot of guys that are in good shape. One is they're young. Two is they have great genetics sometimes, and they can get fit. But what a lot of people don't realize is they've been doing something physically fit for many, many years, playing sports, and then they're working out. Or they may, guys in their 20s or 30s, may have been lifting weights or doing, again, things physical for many, many years. And who gives a shit, again, about them? Again, it's great to get information from them. It's great to have them help you, spot you, inspire you. They are not you. You genetically are an entirely different person, most likely, than anybody else out there. No one is like you from top to bottom. You may have people that look like you, but from a physical and especially mental mindset, you're different than everybody in the world. Just the way it is, because we were all programmed differently. We all came from different backgrounds. Even if you're twins, and I talk about this all the time, twins or triplets, whatever the case may be, you don't live identical lives. You may have identical genetics, but what you do with those genetics too means a lot. And I don't know if you've ever looked up on YouTube, they show people that, like twins, one smokes, one doesn't, what they look like X amount of years. One's an alcoholic, one's a drug addict, one isn't. What do they look like? All these different types of things. So my point being is, you have to learn from, one is also your genetics. Where are your strengths? Where are your weaknesses? Because we all have them. And a lot of times people are like, oh, you got to work on the weakness and then build on, your strengths come naturally. I don't believe that, especially with fitness. Concentrate at the beginning a lot on your strengths. If you've got bigger tries than bigger buys, maybe bang some more tries out. If you're getting good results on your chest, but not necessarily your back, That's okay. Concentrate maybe a little more on your back. I'm not saying on your chest. I'm sorry if you got a better chest than back. Hope I said that correctly. That doesn't mean you neglect any body part. My whole thing is about making sure you hit from head to toe your entire body. But do not become obsessed with things that just aren't, really working that well, if that makes sense. And I think that's what happens with a lot of people. And I used to see guys all the time focusing in on their, they'd go, I'll just take for instance me, they'd be like, Rich, your tris are massive, or your quads look great, or your back, and this and that. I always would look at all my failures or what body parts weren't working. I'd be like, yeah, but my thighs look so shitty here. They don't look as good. I'm not, what else did I not really like about? I don't like my forearms necessarily. They were never that big. So the whole time I'm working out, I'm kind of always trying to work on my forearms or always looking at the flaws. You got to start looking at the strengths and build off of that. And then everything else will come. Don't get obsessed with, if you got smaller legs and a bigger upper body, that does not mean neglect legs. I want you to hit your upper body and legs. But don't go in the gym every time walking around going, man, everybody's looking at my skinny legs. Bullshit. Just get the workout done, get it in. As time goes on, it will all evolve. A lot of body parts, or just being fit in general. If you've ever gone to yoga class and you've never done yoga, you're going to feel like the biggest asshole ever. And again, certain movements or poses or whatever you want to call it, you're going to be able to do better than others. Don't get obsessed with the ones you can't do. Keep working on the ones that you are doing correctly and that are working for you, and then work off of that. That's kind of my point. Same with a lot of people, they think if they got to get fit, they got to run. Then they run for a week, a month, 6 months. Before you know it, their lower back hurts, their knees hurt, their ankle hurts, they're getting jarred. And then they quit. Running just may not be for you. And don't think you have to run to be in good shape. You don't have to. There's so many other things you can do. You can hike, you could swim, you can bodybuild, maybe CrossFit's for you. I don't know. My point being is don't get caught up with certain type of workouts a lot of times as well, like saying, this is it. Because I talk about this all the time. You have to find what you like to do. It's the only way you're going to stick with it. So if you've gone to gyms, you don't like them, okay. You don't like weights or you don't like equipment, go play basketball. If you don't like basketball, maybe volleyball. Again, swim, go surf, go hike. I don't care what you do, there's a lot of things, that are going to help you get fit. Now, if you want to get jacked and be big, newsflash, you're most likely going to have to lift weights of some sort. You're also going to have to eat more food. But if you're thin, but if you're heavy, you're going to have to lose weight and then turn it into muscle. But my point being is just really figure out what works best for you and look at the long game. It's really about long-term working out. It's not something most likely that's going to happen in a few months. And I hate New Year's resolutions. It's so ridiculous. But anytime anyone can get in a gym is a good thing. But if you go in a gym or if you're starting to work out, right, I say this all the time, start off slowly as possible. Do not burn yourself out, because I think that is what destroys most people. I really don't like people getting trainers at the beginning. And I'll tell you why. Because it's like a drill sergeant thing, and a lot of people aren't ready for it, and they start to resent going to the gym, because I get the trainers there to kick you in the ass. And a lot of people say they want their asses kicked by a trainer. And the truth is, they're not ready for it. It's almost, I'm not saying boot camp style, but a lot of trainers, which that's their job, is to train you and then eventually weed themselves out of your life, hopefully, where you could, work out on your own independently or with a workout partner, unless you want to become something professional. But my point being, I think a lot of people go play sports or go do something where they're not prepared physically or mentally to keep up with that, and they start to resent it. Or they don't get the results they think they're going to get a lot of times, and they quit. So I talk about this all the time. When you first start working out, don't even worry about trainers or anything. Just start experimenting with different things. You may want to join a gym. Wonderful. You may want to go cycling. Great. You may want to just walk. Perfect. Swim. You may want to just go throw the ball with your kids. You may want to go to yoga. You may want to try Pilates. Try different things. Eventually you are going to find what you like to do, or eventually hopefully love to do. And it may be more than one thing. You may be like, you know what? I did crew in college. Let me go try that again. Oh my God, I really did miss this. I like crew. Or you may be like, I haven't surfed in 20 years. I used to surf, I live in Florida and I used to live in California. So you may be like, hey, let me go back to the beach. I only fish now. Why don't I try something more physical? I could fish and maybe go surf. Try it out. You may like it, just don't get bit by a shark. But yeah, it's all about experimenting. There's a lot of times too, what we thought we like to do physically, we don't like to do anymore. And I'll give you a perfect example with me. I played tennis a majority of my life when I was younger. I don't like it anymore. I don't know why. I don't like any racket sports. I won't even play racquetball with you, and it's in my gym. Don't know what happened there. A lot of sports. I used to love playing basketball. It's okay. I'm kind of older. It jars me now, and I don't like the way it makes me feel. My knees, my lower back, I had to pull out of that. Truthfully, a lot of sports that I loved playing throughout my entire youth, I don't have any interest in anymore. I'm more just a guy who goes in the gym, and I like to swim. I'll go cycling. But like when I lived in San Diego, I liked mountain biking more than I liked cycling. And I went surfing again, and it just wasn't my thing. And it was quite interesting because then in my 40s, I started all over saying, you know what, I got to try different things. Now, I think I want to go back to fighting, maybe something like that, but I don't want to do jiu-jitsu. I'm not in the mood to roll around on the floor, even though I wrestled for many, many years. And I don't want to box my shoulders and everything. I still want to lift weights, and I realize when I hit the bag and I box, it hurts my shoulders and my wrist. So I'm not willing to give that up. But I wouldn't mind self-defense classes. And again, I need to experiment with that. And that's exactly what I started to do in San Diego, was try different things. And I realized, well, none of these things are for me anymore. But in your case, you may want to try different things, because what works for me... Oh, I just belched. Sorry about that. What works for me... may not work for you, and vice versa. So you got to find your own niche. So I'm going to wrap it up there. And like I was mentioning earlier, you may want to check out my YouTube channel. I've been doing a lot of things fitness related. A lot of different gyms I've been going in and out of, just in case you're thinking about joining a gym, all over North America, including Canada. And not only am I showing different videos on me working out and some tricks that I do, I also just give straight advice while I'm in the gym, whatever pops in my head regarding certain things. And I kind of always look at going to the gym as a little kid or a little boy, or I really also look at what other people talk about to me. And while I'm in the gym too, sometimes I see certain things, and then when I walk out of a gym, I just have a certain subject matter I want to cover, and I just shoot the video real fast, and I give my information on it. So that may be able to help you as well if you're thinking about either joining a gym or just getting fit or just living a healthier lifestyle. I'm going to tell you something. As much as I live a healthy lifestyle, I don't always live a healthy lifestyle. I still like to mainly only eat Italian food. I eat junk food too. I go to places like Epcot, Disney. I live in the junk food capital of the world over here in Orlando, Florida. I like to eat good, and I like to do things very fit, but I also like to do a lot of other things too that aren't necessarily always that healthy, which could be having a couple drinks here and there, smoking a cigar. I don't get obsessed with the whole thing anymore. And I'm here to tell you, if you do plan on getting in shape, don't get nuts and change your entire lifestyle, unless that's what you want to do. But I think too many people think, I need to work out now, or I need to get in shape, and they change their eating habits, which I think a lot of times is ridiculous. I'm going to quit drinking. Again, most likely not going to last. If you're smoking, I wouldn't recommend smoking, but whatever. I'm going to quit smoking weed, hypothetically. You're probably bullshitting. I'm going to do whatever the hell you say you're going to do. You're probably not going to do it or stick with it. Kind of figure out and be honest. Take an honest approach when working out and saying, okay, I'm going to go to the gym when I first start 2 times a week, right? Or I'm going to do this 2 times a week. Don't even say 4 or 5. I tell people, because you're most likely not going to stick with it. Now, or 3, 2 to 3, just start off that way. You're going to be very sore, whatever you do regarding fitness. So you really just want to figure that out. And I think some people just dive all the way in. They're like, okay, I'm going to start doing yoga. I'm going to do it 3-4 times a week. I'm like, okay, wonderful. But are you going to be able to consistently do that for years? Maybe, maybe not. Just start off going. Like I said, experiment. Do a yoga class. Try a Pilates class. Do a dance class. I don't give a shit. Maybe take a cycling class. Do a crew. They got crew classes now. Whatever the case may be. Just experiment a little bit and be honest. A lot of people don't like to give up their weekends, especially if they like to watch college football, say, or NFL football. Don't bullshit yourself and think you're going to work out on those weekends when you really don't want to. And if you go there, you're miserable when you're there. Why even do that to yourself? So say, hey, I'm going to work out during the week. I'm going to take weekends off. Or say I'm going to work out every other day, like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then I'm going to come back Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Sometimes not jumping into it makes you desire it even more. But sometimes when people jump into it and they're doing it too much, again, they're exhausted from it. They don't feel that good, and it just tires them out. All right? Just pay attention to those things if you could. All right, I'm going to wrap it up there. I'm also on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. And if you want to know anything else, I'm on richcelenza.com, and I have a masteringselfconfidence.com program. All right? All right, take care and kick it in the ass. And don't let anybody make you feel like you're a piece of shit. All right? I'm going to tell you right now. Everybody, most people, started very like everybody else. All right? They started on the bottom. A lot of people weren't in that great of shape. You may be looking at people thinking, wow, this guy, he's a god, or this girl, she's incredible. A lot of people that I realized, especially in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and I just did a podcast on this, they weren't that athletic in their past. But they found later in life that they were much more athletic than they thought. So you may be one of those people. Just because you may have gotten picked on, when you were in your teens or even in your, whatever, high school, even college, don't think you're that same person. You're not physically or mentally. So don't give up on yourself. All right, take care.